this is an A to Z of Buddhist beliefs. A is for anatta and anicca. Anatta is no fixed self, it's no soul. The universal truth, the soul is insubstantial. People change during the course of their lives. It is the denial of a real or permanent self. Anicca is impermanence, instability, not permanent. B is for the Buddha's life. There's no getting away from this. You're going to need to know about his life. The prophecy, his birth, his life of luxury, the foresight, leaving the temple, his ascetic life, enlightenment and teachings. C is for the concept of dependent arising. This is the belief that everything in existence is because other things are. It's the idea that everything is interconnected with everything else. D is for Dharma and Dukkha. Dharma is the universal law, the ultimate truth, the teachings of the Buddha. Dukkha is the core of his teachings. The first of the Four Noble Truths, and it means suffering. Everything leads to suffering and unsatisfactoriness. E is for enlightenment, wisdom or understanding, enabling the clarity of perception. It allows the Buddhist to be freed from the cycle of rebirth. F is for the Four Sights. When the Buddha left the palace, he saw an old man, a sick man, a dead body, and a holy man at peace, even with the suffering around him. These sights influenced his life and his teachings. He wanted answers to the human condition. G is for greed, one of the three poisons. It is the attachment to material things and sensual desires. H is for human personality, the idea that one's being is composed of 5 factors. These are the 5 skandhas or aggregates. They are form, sensation, perception, mental formation and consciousness. I is for ignorance, also one of the 3 poisons. It is the inability to see things as they really are. J is for the jewels. The 3 jewels, or the 3 refuges, are the 3 things that the Buddha taught it is wise to seek refuge in. To the Buddha, for refuge I go. To the Dharma, for refuge I go. To the Sangha, for refuge I go. K is for karma. Deliberate actions that affect the believer's circumstances in this and future lives. Cause and effect. L is for land, pure land. This is the dominant form of Buddhism in Japan and focuses on chanting the name of Amitabha Buddha. M is for Magga, the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, the middle way. This leads to freedom from suffering. N is for Nibbana and Nirodha, literally blowing out, to reach a state of perfect peace, where individual experiences liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Nirodha means the end of suffering. O is for overcoming craving. This is the core teaching of Buddhism. By overcoming our cravings, desires and attachments, we can become free from suffering. P is for the 3 poisons, ignorance, greed and hate, at the centre of the wheel of life. Q is for quotes. Learn some. Grab some relevant quotes that you can refer to in your exam. Either learn them outright or be able to paraphrase. Look at the Dhammapada, Tenzin Gyatso, the Dalai Lama. They're good sources. R is for right. The 8 steps of the Eightfold Path. Right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, right understanding and right intention. Buddhists believe that by living right, they will achieve enlightenment. S is for schools. There are 2 main schools in Buddhism, Theravada and Mahayana. Each has subgroups. Theravada is the school of the elders and Mahayana is like an umbrella term that's used to describe other Buddhist traditions such as Zen, Tibetan and Pure Land. T is for Tanha. Tanha is the second noble truth. It means craving and desires which cause suffering. The attempt to grasp at these things we enjoy. Sometimes the word samadaya is used, which means the causes of suffering, but Tanha specifies what those causes are. U is for Uttatrata Shostra. I did not get that right, but it's the concept of Buddhahood and the idea in Mahayana Buddhism that we are all able to attain Buddhahood. V is for vow, Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattva vows are made by people in the Mahayana tradition, and it's however innumerable sentient beings are, I vow to save them all. It's the idea that you get up to enlightenment and then stop to help others. W is for the watches of the night, the 3 watches of the night. When the Buddha became enlightened, he did so at 3 important points during the night. First, he gained knowledge of his past lives. Second, he understood samsara, the cycle of birth, death and rebirth, and the fact that all things depend upon karma. And thirdly, he came to understand why suffering happens and how to overcome it. X, Y, Z, explain your point and make a judgment. Always make sure you explain your points in 4, 5 and 12 mark questions. And good luck. Mani